Tonight we're making burnt ends, chuck roast style. Here we go. And welcome back to Heat of the Drum. My name is Steve. Now today we are doing chuck roast burnt ends, and these should be really good. Now the first thing we got to do is get our rub made, so let me show you what we got here. We got 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 4 teaspoons of coarse ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of ground oregano, 2 teaspoons of minced onion, 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 2 teaspoons of granulated garlic, and let's get it in there and get her mixed up. And we're going to thoroughly mix that up. And when you're done, it's going to look like that. So now we got our rub made. We'll go ahead and set that off to the side. And let's look at our meat. Let's go ahead and get these guys out. And what I have here is 2 Angus Premium Choice Chuck Pot Roast. So these are, they were both just over 2 pounds. This is 2.35 pounds. This one I believe was like 2.13. So they're very close in weight, and that's what I wanted. Go ahead and get this guy out. Now we're just going to take a look at these guys and see if there's any excess of fat that we might want to take off of these, but otherwise we're not going to trim them up too much. Like here's kind of a hard chunk there. I'll get a little bit of that guy off, but we're not going to waste too much time cutting on these. That one looks pretty good, actually. And this one the same, not going to do much with that. Let's go ahead and just get into our rub and start getting them coated. Here we go. This is a nice coarse rub that I like to use. Make sure we get enough for both sides here, so we'll go ahead and flip her. And we'll come back and we'll go ahead and hit these sides. Now you could use a binder if you wanted to. I chose not to today. That one looks good. And we're seasoning very well. That looks really good. Got a little bit left here, so we'll just hit this guy a little bit. Those are looking really good right there. These are going to go in the fridge for 1 hour. Meat's in the fridge. Now let's get the drum fired up. And let's talk charcoal. Today I still have the Cowboy Oak and Hickory blend, along with some Kingsford, and the same in my chimney there. And to that, I am adding some mesquite. My favorite part of the day. Like to take a quick second and just thank everybody who's liked and subscribed to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you'll get an alert when I have a new video come out. But we got some good things coming your guys' way, so stay tuned for all that. Get a restrictor plate in, bowl of water, hot water. Cooking on the top shelf tonight. These been hanging out in the fridge for 1 hour and it's time. Right now we are at 257 and our target temp is 250, so we're right there. Let's go ahead and get these on, and we're going to go ahead and get our probe in right from the get-go. Here we go. And these look good already. Look at that. And I'm going to put them close together. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy quick, swing him around like that. He's going to fit better like that. Put them in close, keep them tight, just like that. Let's go ahead and get our probe in. And what I'm going to do is come in, what I'll do is I'll come in right here. Just like that. Let's go ahead and get our lid on. All right, so the meat is on and we are ready to go. Now what I normally will do with my chuck roast, I like to cook them to about 150 to 160, right around in there, and then that's when I wrap. So what I'm going to do though, once these hit about 100 degrees or so, right around that area, I'm going to go ahead and probably spin these around and rotate. I'll see you then. Okay, we're at 121 and our drum is running 248, 249. We're right there. Let's go ahead and spin these around and we'll get our first look at these. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and rotate these around. Smell really good. Get our thermometer back in there just like that. And get our lid back on. All right, so that was our first look at the chuck roast. They're smelling really good. And now I'm going to wait till 150. At 150, I'm going to get another look at them, and we'll start thinking about wrapping them up at that point. So I'll see you then. We just hit 155, and this is probably going to be going off any second. And let's go ahead and get our new ThermoPro Lightning out and go ahead and get a couple temps off of these and see where they're at and see if I'm ready to wrap them. And quick note, if you guys are interested in a Thermal Pro product or one of these Thermal Pro new Lightning instant reads, which I highly recommend, check out the description. I'll have a link and a discount code, and if you order anything off that link, I'll get a small commission and it'll help out the channel. So let's go ahead and get the lid off and get a reading. Here we go. Looking pretty nice. Let's go ahead and get it out and see where we're at here. 148, 148, 153, so a little bit more on this guy over here. 56, 55, so yeah, he's a good 5 degrees or so, about 5 degrees more on this guy. Going to give it a few more minutes. So we are right there. I'm going to give it 10 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff ready for the wrap, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. We're taking them off, and we're wrapping. Let's go ahead and get this off, and we'll go ahead and grab our chuck roast. Still nice and juicy, but not cooked yet. Go ahead and grab this guy off. And we'll grab this guy off. Looking really nice. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and lower the grate down here. And we'll put our thermometer back in down there. Just like that. Go ahead and get the lid back on. And our chuck roasts are looking really nice. And all I had was this big tin. That's why I dropped down the rack to the lower shelf there. And what I'm going to add to this is just some beef broth. And I'm going to fill this up. About halfway up. That's all I'm looking for. And that looks good right there. Go ahead and get some foil on this. And we'll get this back on the smoker. And here we go. And the reason I lowered it, like I said, was because this would have been too tall of a tin for my upper shelf. So that's why I dropped it down. You may or may not have to do that. We got our meat wrapped. Now we're just going to let this go until it hits around 205. At 205, we're going to take it off and move on to our next step. We just hit 205 on the old Thermal Pro. Let's go ahead and take a look. And what I'm going to do is just come down here, and then I'm just going to probe in through the foil into the meat and see where we're at. Ooh wee, 210, 24, 29, oh yeah, 27. This is coming off, and it feels like butter. Let's go ahead and first we're going to unplug this thermometer right here, and let's go ahead and get this out. We got our meat off, and it's soft as butter. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to vent this. I'm going to pull this back about halfway, just like that. I'm going to vent that for about 10 minutes. At that point, we're going to take it out and cube it up and start making these burn ends. It's been 10 minutes. Here we go. Now what I want to do is get these chuck roasts out of this pan. There's one. Ooh-wee. And there's two. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to get rid of all this juice. We no longer need that. So we're going to reuse the pan. So let's get rid of this and set this off to the side. Now what we're going to do is come in and cube these up. Oh, man. And I want some nice sized cubes. And the reason we let it sit is because we didn't want it to just fall apart when we cut it. So we wanted it to firm up a little bit. Oh, that one's going to be just like it is right there. Look at that. I'm going to come here. Oh, man. And then this right here in half. And you can see how I'm cutting that. Let me taste this little sample. And here we go with this one. And we'll spin it this way. I'll try to get about the same size cuts. There. This one here, I'm just gonna kind of do like this. Oh man, this is gonna be, now this nice fat vein right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of there. We don't want that. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. Right there. That. Oh man. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all these carefully and get them back in our tin. Oop, almost grabbed my sugar in the process. That comes in a minute. Get those all arranged in a single layer. Just like that. And what we have tonight is Joe's Kansas City Original Barbecue Sauce. This is a good sauce, so we're going to use that tonight on these. Let's go ahead and get that open. And we're going to drizzle that across. Now we don't want them swimming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here and I'm going to mix these around and make sure they're totally coated. Just like that. And what we're going to do on top of this is I got about a half a cup of some light brown sugar. I might not use all of it. I'm just going to go across the top of these. Add a little sweetness to this. Not going to get crazy. Just a little sweetness. And you're going to end up looking like this. This is going back on the smoker. We have not messed with the temperature on the smoker. It's still the same. I'm going to put those back in there and get the lid back on. It's been 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get a look at these and see what they're looking like. Get a look. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and stir these around. and get them coated all in there. Woo-wee. I don't think I need to add any more barbecue sauce. I think I'm good there. And we're going to let those go that last 10 minutes of that 30 minutes I was talking about. All right, it's been 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and open this up and get a look at these guys. And what I'm going to do is just stir them around. Oh man, they are looking good. They are looking really good. But 5 more minutes. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Here we go. Looking real nice. Look at those. These are ready to come out. Here we go. So I'm just going to let this rest about 5 minutes and we're eating. And here we go. It's time. 5 hours later. Total cook time of 5 hours. We prepped our chuck roast, threw it in the fridge, let it rest for about an hour in the fridge with our rub that we made from scratch while we got the drum smoker fired up and got ready to go. Once we got up to temp, we got both chuck roast on, and we took it to about 120 degrees. At 120 degrees, we went ahead and rotated the chuck roast just in case there was a hot spot in there. So at 155, we went ahead and took the chuck roast off. We put them in a tin. We added about 4 cups, maybe probably about 3 cups of beef broth, put foil over the top, threw it back in there, and we let it go to about 205, 207, right around in that area. We took it off, got rid of the beef broth, cut up our chuck roast, put them back in the tin, and then we added our Joe's barbecue sauce, Kansas City style. We mixed it around on those chopped up burnt ends right there. Then we added some light brown sugar over the top. We put it back in and let it go for 20 minutes. At 20 minutes, we reached in there, we stirred them around, let it go another 10 minutes. So once we hit the 30-minute mark, we went ahead and stirred them and let them go another 5 more minutes. At that point, we went ahead and took them off, and they look just like this. Let me bring you in. And what I did is just put my little bit of Joe's barbecue sauce in this little dipping container so I can dip if I want to. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of these bad boys. Oh man, look at that. Mmm. Wow. That really tastes good. Mesquite wood, some lump. Oh yeah. Some Joe's barbecue sauce. And 5 hours of your time. But it's worth it, my friends. Oh yeah. Look at that. Mm. You can do this too until I see you again next time on Heat of the Drum. Make these for the football game. Your guests will never leave.